He is considered as the architect of modern India. He built IITs and AIIMS. He built steel plants and irrigation projects. He was known for the non-alignment movement and also refused to abolish English in India. He was Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first Prime Minister and Foreign Minister. Nehru's vision was welded in modernity, influenced by the West. He ensured that India remained open to global influences, from geopolitics to military strategy to national integrity. India's first Prime Minister Nehru committed consecutive blunders, which then shifted the nation's dimension. Nehru single-handedly created Kashmir issue. Firstly, by refusing Jammu and Kashmir's accession to India when first offered in September 1947. Secondly, by preventing Indian army from liberating whole Jammu and Kashmir from Pakistani invaders in the late 1948. Thirdly, by needlessly internationalizing the issue. Maharaja Hari Singh of Kashmir had done successful merger of Kashmir and India. The Indian forces had only asked the time of a few more days to establish peace in the valley. But it was Nehru who took an absolute internal issue to international level and got it registered at United Nations. Fourthly, by framing Article 370 and Article 35A of Indian Constitution. That gave special status to the state, despite opposition from Sardar Patel and Dr. Ambedkar. In 1947, Khan of Kalat, a princely state in Balochistan, pleaded to join India instead of Pakistan. He sent Nehru the signed accession papers that officially would have made Kalat a part of the Union of India. But Nehru rejected Kalat's accession and returned the accession papers to the Khan, which in turn paved the way for Pakistan's invasion and annexation of Balochistan. After India's independence, Hyderabad's Nizam refused to accede to India and unleashed a private army of over 2 lakh Razakars, later massacring 30,000 to 40,000 Hindus. In response, the Union Home Minister Sardar Patel decided to liberate Hyderabad using military force. Prime Minister Nehru opposed the plan and tried to scuttle it. However, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel went ahead despite Nehru's best efforts and launched Operation Polo that finally liberated Hyderabad. The Great Cocoa Island formed the northernmost part of Andaman Archipelago. Nehru gifted the Cocoa Islands to Burma. Subsequently, Burma handed them to China, which today has established an extensive electronic surveillance station to keep an eye on India's military and naval activities in Bay of Bengal, giving China a crucial strategic advantage in India's backyard. In 1950, after India's independence, USA offered India a permanent seat at UN Security Council, but Nehru rejected, stating that he won't accept any offer that came at cost of China. In 1955, US repeated offer in tandem with USSR, in a rare instance of agreement between the Cold War enemies. Nehru again rejected, insisting that priority be given to China instead of India. Nehru ensured that China got a permanent seat in the UN Security Council, at the expense of India. Today, thanks to Nehru, China has unlimited opportunities to repeatedly harm India's interests at the UN. In early 1950s, Nepal's king, 𝗞𝗹𝗏 offered to merge Nepal with India. However, for reason best known to him, Nehru rejected the offer, spurning the opportunity to regain India's historic territory. In 1960, PM Nehru, for the sake of friendship and goodwill, signed one of the most unequal, lopsided treaties ever, the Indus Water Treaty. It gave Pakistan ownership of over 3/4 of the water that flows through the Indus system of rivers located in India. Pakistan reciprocated Nehru's gesture of goodwill by invading India just 5 years later. Indian soldiers were defending without warm clothing and protective gears. His inept and myopic forward policy fueled the Chinese aggression. and later grounding of Indian Air Force, led to India's humiliating defeat in the 1962 war with China. This resulted in the loss of 11,000 square kilometer of area in 𝗥𝗲𝗁 Peninsula. American President John F. Kennedy wrote a letter and offered a nuclear deal to India, much before Indo-China War, but Nehru refused, saying that India is a peace-loving country. Had Nehru accepted John F. Kennedy's offer of helping India detonate a nuclear device, not only India would have tested the nuclear device first in Asia before China, but it would have prevented China from launching its war of 1962, and even imparted a note of caution to Pakistan's Field Marshal Ayub Khan's plans for war in 1965.